welcome back, folks. Today on Gardening with Alex and his buddies. My buddies today are Jaden on my right and Eric on my left. We are making eggs and garden hash browns. As you can see today, we're wearing the special apron. That means it's going to be an excellent dish. Speaking of the dish, Eric, what are we making today?
Today we are making a lovely garden hash We are using vegetables and ingredients that we picked from our garden. And we're just trying to show that you can make something pretty delicious from something very cheap. So yeah, Jaden, would you like to add anything to that?
So the reason why we're trying to have a how-to video on how to use these different ingredients is we found through different articles and essays that if an individual has the proper nutrition and is able to access that nutrition, then eventually they will do better later on in life. Eventually also become less dependent on the global supply chain.
Absolutely right, Jaden. All right, let's get into the cooking. Alright, step one of garden hash browns and eggs is, well, washing and cutting stuff. Right here in front of me and Jaden are going to cut potatoes, carrots, and zucchini. And back there, Eric's going to cut the onion and tomato. This is step two of the process. After you've diced your vegetables, in this case, we have really more minced the zucchini and carrots. You're going to put them in a strainer, and you are going to run some water through for 30 seconds to a minute. Shake them out, let them dry, and then we're going to add them to our mix. As you can see, we have already diced the hash browns, and we've just set them out. After mincing all of these, we only have two more things to dice: tomatoes and the onion. Okay, we are currently about to cook. All we have left to do is we need to pre-oil the pan. For that, we have vegetable oil. Really, you just turn on the stove. We're going to put it on medium heat. We're going to let that sit for a bit. We're going to add the oil, let it move around a little bit. And while that's doing that, we're going to re-strain the vegetables. You see, we already strained them once. The potatoes was to get the starch off, and the other ones was just to clean them a bit. But now we're just going to do one final run through. Make sure that all water is gone, because when we put these in the pan, they'll fry a lot better if they're completely dry. All right, Jaden's gonna help me with that. She's gonna start restraining the vegetables. I'm gonna turn on the oven, and we're gonna get this thing cooking.
Now, just a quick little tidbit. Because you might be restraining these after you've added the vegetable oil or the seasoning, make sure that you reapply those two things if you want your final dish to still have some sort of flavor.
As you can see, the process is now simple. We're just gonna leave this in here. We're gonna move it around, get the motion going, let it cook. In a while, once things start browning up a little bit, we're gonna add some cheese and tomatoes, and then boom, we're done. Except we're not, because remember, we still have eggs to do. It's time for the next step. We're gonna add some eggs. A dish of this size is really only gonna take about what, guys? 3 eggs? 3 eggs. All right, it's really simple. We're just gonna crack them, throw them in, Mix it together how you'd make scrambled eggs, except there's just a little extra stuff in the pan this time.
Once you get the eggs into the pan, then you're going to want to incorporate that very well into the mixture so that it eventually kind of coagulates. There's probably a better, more attractive word to say, but once you have it coagulated together, you're going to want to take that out of the pan pretty soon because you don't want the eggs to overcook. You put the pepper jack on top, and then you put on a few slices of tomato just to make it look all nice and pretty.
All right. Thank you for watching Cooking with Alex and his buddies. The buddies today being Jaden and Eric. It was a good dish today. It was a little greasy, but overall, it was fun. It was cheap. It's free if you grow it in your garden, and it tasted good. Anything left to say, guys?
Yeah, I'd say that while you're cooking this, I would definitely kind of consider how much oil that you put into it. We kind of jumped the ball a little bit and added oil to try and make it fry faster. But if you just do that before, if you have the pan hot enough, then your potatoes will get nice and crispy pretty soon.
Absolutely. Eric, any thoughts?
I probably have indigestion now.
Indigestion? That happens to the best of us. Anyways, I think that's all.
It's not actually. So,
It's not actually.
just keep in mind that with this sort of thing, it's pretty accessible if you have the garden that we've talked about, and hopefully that while watching this, it kind of gave you some ideas on what else you could do with different vegetables that you have from the garden, and it'll lead to a healthier lifestyle.
All right, that's all. Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.